I gotta say, this is probably the earliest I turned on the camera during the day. What are we doing? Oh my goodness. Come here so I can see what you're doing. Oof. Look who we have back by popular demand. Oh, hello, baby. Hi. I think he wants to get away from me. You are adorable. You're adorable now. Please do not show me your butt. I very much appreciate you have a butt. Do you want to unbox the orchids with me? Okay, we have some orchids to unbox, and the kitty is here. He is all around. See? He just... Where are we going? Oh, you're liking those plants? I have 2 new pinguiculas. I got them for very cheap. And I love them. I always wanted pinguiculas, and they were never available here. Mister also loves pinguiculas. Do you like pinguiculas too? Are you gonna sit in my pinguicula? No! Let's know. Anyway, we're gonna let him do what he wants to do for a moment there. So I have this one. Very beautiful. And I'm just so happy I managed to get it. And then there is this other one, also very cute, with less flowers, but still adorable. I know that a lot of you don't love the orchids and you are concerned that by getting some orchids, I will stop getting Hoya, but that is not correct. I actually will have a Hoya package on the way. Well, by the time this video comes out, maybe there already will be the haul of the Hoyas that I got, because I don't know exactly where I'm gonna fit this, or if I want to make this a Patreon video or the channel video, but you know. The orchids are behind me. They've been in the box for a couple of days. It's a box with no lid. I will need my computer because I did match the ID of some of them. They don't all have names. So here are the orchids. I'm sorry, kitty, that I scared you. So we have a package of 10 orchids from Phalaenopsis. This is a wholesale type of a deal that I was able to secure through my friend. And of course, I had a lot of orchids to choose from, a lot of plants to choose from, but I did go for the Phalaenopsis orchids. Where are we going? Are you gonna play the piano? Okay, do it. Maybe that's your talent. What are we doing? What are we doing? Look. Look, 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 look. Look at the camera. You do smell a little bit. What happened to you? I'm pretty sure he farted in my face, but that's fine. That's great. We love that. Anyway, he wanted to go out, so I had to let him out. Yeah, the orchids from Phalaenopsis. We all know I want a red Vanda, but it's not so easy to get. The package was like 6 Vandas minimum, and I simply don't have the space for 6 Vandas, and if they don't arrive well, I have to rehab them. If I, got some that I already have, would have to sell them. I was just like, it's potentially too complex. So I decided to go for Phalaenopsis because I did want to add a couple of more to the Hoya wall. And they do typically ship well and they don't really arrive dehydrated. Sometimes they arrive with rotten crowns, roots, and terminal spikes, which are all not great things. But with Vandas, you can get fusarium, dead roots, right? The plants can get cold damage in shipping. I think much easier than Phalaenopsis. So I was like, I'm gonna order these 10, probably keep 2 or 3, and then just sell the rest at the wholesale price. Unfortunately, I like all of them. Except one that it's a double, which I'm a little bit irritated about because they said mix of 10 different colors, which if I can count, 9 plus 1 repeated is not 10 different colors, my babes, but okay. These are all from Phalaenopsis. These are from their exclusive selection. So, of course, I couldn't go, tourist vibes. I couldn't go for something else. I was like, I want the exclusive ones because I don't want to get any Phalaenopsises that are regularly found in the flower store, because I'm just going to get them in the flower store. And while these are in the garden centers, especially in Europe, here the market is big for orchids, but the buying power of people is not. So they typically go for cheaper mixes, and you know, they are not as special, though sometimes you can find very good orchids in those mixes too. But yeah, this is something that I have never seen. I think only seen one of these in sale before here. So let's just start. I'll tell you which one is my favorite. This first one here, closest to me, is Phalaenopsis viola. So as we can see, this is from the exclusive line. And this one does have one bud that when it arrived, it was fine. Actually two, maybe actually a little bit more. You know, this is normal. This happens. They're going to lose the buds in shipping. But hopefully the flowers are going to continue to grow, the rest of them. So let's unpack. Okay. They are pretty big. So let's clean off the buds, the yellow buds here. All right, so this is what she looks like. A lot of the small buds, like this one, you can see that's yellow, that's a goner. Stuff like this happens. We've come pretty far, I would say, in shipping orchids, but these things are going to happen still. I'm amazed that they can even ship them from the Netherlands and they arrive relatively well to us. Bunch, but very, very good orchid. Just a ton of healthy roots. A little bit potential issue here with that one, but other than that, very, very good roots with this Phalaenopsis orchid. I do need to put the clip back. I don't think any of these are scented, most likely not. They all do have this mesh, which is very difficult to remove, but we do need to do that relatively quickly. I'm going to do that off camera and probably curse because yeah, it's not very easy. This is, I think, something for pests. The last time I read about this, probably helps like with snails or something like that. I'm not really sure, but it's incredibly difficult to cut. I don't see signs of pests. It's always wise to inspect the plant as it arrives to you, especially stuff like this with flowers. They could have thrips, but I don't see any signs. So we love this one. Let's go to the next. I'm just gonna pick randomly. I'm going to keep one of these and I'm just gonna leave the other one packed because my mom is going to need it. I think I'm gonna pick this one, even though this one perhaps has larger flower. Are they not the same? No, they're completely the same. I'm not crazy, right? Before I decide to give one of them to my mom, she needs it as a gift. I think I will pick this one because it's a little bit smaller and I would like a little bit smaller one. This one I couldn't find a name for on Phalaenova's, well, not just their website, but also on the sale page and the wholesale site. But there is an orchid that looks identical to this one and sold as Pirate Picotee. So I do think this is Pirate Picotee. Orchid people will know. It's a very well-known orchid. I never really loved this one though, but I will keep it because sometimes I'm like, maybe I do like it. I just could never decide if I long-term want this in my collection. And I think the issue is because I don't love stuff like that. I don't know. It's a pretty color and all. It's not an ugly orchid, but I'm just uncertain. Also very healthy, very good roots, lots of leaves. Not the best roots. We will see, I mean, excellent roots, but not the best one in this batch. You will see even better ones. And no yellow buds. No scent for this one either. Now we arrived to one of my favorites, if not the favorite, which unfortunately got damaged. This is Yellow Gloria. This is a big lip Phalaenopsis. Incredible color. I love big lip. But listen, we're gonna see that this one is not as strong as the rest of them. I do think this is due to the hybrid. You can also see with some of these garden center Phalaenopsises, you know, they're complex hybrids. You can see this one is different type of Phalaenopsis. It has elongated leaves, narrow and elongated leaves. Very interesting. I did forget, I will probably have to check what that's called. It's a certain type of Phalaenopsis that does have this look. Probably has it in its parentage, but no scent for now. Not as many roots, so not as vigorous perhaps of a root grower, but just beautiful, beautiful big lip flower. And big lip flower orchids usually, well, not usually, some of them have larger flowers. Okay, couldn't find anything online, but I did ask my friend who knows orchids, but you can see from the seedling stage, this has very narrow and long leaves. So a very nice addition to the collection. I do believe some of these may have been crossed with Escocentrum. I'm not sure if this is the case with this one. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I will try to look into the parentage of this. But it's a very significant difference. You can see almost like third of the leaf width. Unfortunately for this one, I don't have a name. It's a very compact bloomer, very small orchid. Small in terms of, you know, how Phalaenopsis can get big. Leaves are also not super big. And I just decided to call this one wine red because I saw it being sold as wine red someplace. This is just for me to know when I water them once they're out of bloom who's who. Also slightly smaller root system, but a lot of leaves. We can see, oh, unfortunately there is a lot of rotten roots here. So if I was in the garden center, I probably wouldn't pick this one out. Or maybe I would, depending if I really, really loved it. But see, there is a ton of rot there. And that's just the reality. And I also see behind that green root, there is rot too. So it would be best if we took care of this relatively quickly, despite the orchid being in bloom, because the primary objective is not to save the flower, but to save the orchid. Unfortunately, still not fragrant, but a very nice flower shape. And it's a very vibrant color. It's coming off maybe purplish, but it's not purplish. I do have something similar, but more waxy. So I will keep this one, but I'm a little bit worried. Those roots really don't look amazing. I typically do repot all of the Phalaenopsis that I get relatively quickly. Now this one, I do believe it has a name. It's another big lip one. I don't think I adore it, but I think I'm going to keep it for now. I think this one is Ambon. Let me just check. I just typically don't love super light colors with these stripes, but that's my personal issue. I think the lip is very pretty. The shape of the flower is very pretty. It's a very strong orchid. There's a ton of roots, but you can see this is a big lip. This is also a big lip, but clearly the parentage is different. Just look at the leaves. Much different leaves. So the parentage is 100% different. And even like when you look at the details of the flower, a nice big aerial root. It's a little bit broken, but very, very good orchid. Also, again, very compact, which I don't think, this one does give big orchid vibes, so I don't think it's going to stay compact for much longer. Interestingly, the cheaper mixes have bigger orchids. And this one, the more expensive one, has smaller orchids. That's very interesting to me. We arrived to one of my favorites with abundant aerial root system. This is Phalaenopsis, obviously big lip. It's called Tina, and this is why I ordered this. I saw that there is a possibility I could get it, and I was really hoping, because, you know, you can order this one, just this one, but you have to order 10 of them. And I'm like, okay, maybe that's cuckoo. But I was really hoping to get it in the mix. And I'm so glad to see that this is a strong orchid. The flowers are super crowded. We do have to do something with the way this is staked, because they just don't have space. I'm very, very happy with this one. Also not fragrant. So a plethora of aerial roots, but we can already see between these three big lips, all have slightly different leaves and slightly different flower. I think these two are probably closely related, but this one definitely isn't, which is very evident. Even in the shape of the flower, it's very evident. I don't remember if I found this one. Let me check. It's another big lip. I was also going for like a big lip mix. Yes, I did find this one. I think this is maybe Nina. Yes, this is Phalaenopsis Nina. Very gorgeous. Unfortunately, one flower spike on the end is broken. And again, slightly more narrow, not as narrow as the yellow one, but slightly more narrow than the other ones. So again, probably different parentage. I will actually rip this time. I will say this one arrived better to me, or these arrived better to me than the orchids that I order here online. So this one, you see, it's broken and it can be helped at this point. So I'll just cut that off. And the rest of it looks fine. There's like one bud that's dead, but I just love how, look how branchy this is. Like, just observe it. It's basically a tree, this flower spike. Can we see that? And I noticed that a lot of the Phalaenopsises that I got, they're also branching out for me as well. Just the hybrids, you know, I haven't grown orchids in several years, and something new was introduced to these hybrids that makes them even more vigorous, because that's, you know, the goal. Oh, this one has another flower spike coming. So very beautiful. Nina, I'm keeping Nina as well, obviously. I actually don't know what part of the orchid I'm showing you. So it is a big lip. Very similar in coloration to the pirate picotee. Potentially even a mutation of it. What do we think? Because the big lips, they are a mutation of these, right? Regular ones. So to me it looks very plausible, though it's missing that coloration on the edge that pirate picotee has, but you know, it doesn't mean that it couldn't happen. We have two more to go through. Now this, I was so happy when I saw this. One flower is damaged, but it's fine. This I call big lip purple spot. That is just stunning. It's the most unique flower in the bunch. And you can see once again a different cross with something else entirely, but just, this is giving me such Vanda vibes, these flowers. I don't know why. But this is not just big lip. There is like pelorism in here. Just all over this flower is so interesting. I mean, that's stunning. And then the orchid people will know. Look at the back. How narrow those are. I always forget. Petal sepals, I think I messed that up. Fortunately, that flower is not going to last for long because it is damaged. Unfortunately, some of these are damaged, but we have a lot of new buds coming in. And yeah, just coloration is amazing. The shape of the flower, 100 out of 10. 100. Sadly, no scent. We would appreciate that, but just very nice. I'm incredibly happy this one is in my collection. I think if I had to make really tough decisions in which to get rid of, I think I would get rid of some of them, but not that one. I will actually save that for later. This one, I'm not sure. Nicoletta loves this one. I'm not super convinced. I think I need to look at it more and decide. Another big lip and another different big lip. Huge roots, mid-narrow leaves, still very narrow, not fragrant. I would say very elegant. It's a very, when I see orchids with these green buds, it's a little bit giving elevated to me. I don't know why. I love them. I love when I see these, like they are so fresh. I think that's it. I think they're giving freshness to me, the green buds. I love that. Anyway, this one, I don't think we have a name. I call it Big Lip White Pink Spot. I'm sure that Phalaenopsis does have a name for it, but unfortunately they don't write the name. Very, very beautiful. I would much rather keep this one than, for example, this one. See, like, this one is more up my alley. But very, very beautiful. Very strong too, just ton of roots, ton of leaves. Like if you're looking for orchids to buy in a garden center, always look for orchids that have a lot of leaves, a lot of roots. I can actually make a video on that. And unless it's an orchid you really want to have, then of course no rules apply. But just very, very beautiful overall. But yeah, let's just talk which I would not grow if I had to choose. And let's be realistic. Like if I had to downsize this to 6, I would definitely choose this one, not to grow it. It's cute, but maybe not up my alley. I would probably choose this one as well, even though I love how branched out it is. I just don't think I adore this coloration. I think that's my issue. And of course, with that, this. I think that's the ranking. My absolute favorites, I can't decide. Like this yellow one, they have to be tied for a first place. But close second is Tina, because I love how that looks. And then, I'm not really sure. I think top 3, and then the rest. I love these. I didn't think I was gonna love this because it does look a little bit more plain, but I do love it. And this. So this is a 3rd spot. I love them equally, and then the rest. I would actually say I potentially even like this one the least. I'll have to think about it. It doesn't mean that I have to grow them forever. I can just grow them, repot them. I think my orchid number now is around 50, which is a little bit concerning. I will be probably getting more. I still want to get some Cattleyas and, as always, the red Vanda. It's not turning into an orchid channel. Please, everyone, calm down. It's a plant channel. It was always a plant channel. And it will always be predominantly Hoya, because I'm getting more of them too. Maybe eventually it balances out with orchids, and I still love begonia. I have to make a begonia video as well. So I'm just gonna go and continue cutting this. I think this is gonna be part of a vlog or something. I don't know. This video is a mess. Maybe I decide to put it as a standalone video that nobody is going to watch. This is why people resort to clickbait, by the way, to get the views. So I can just say something crazy in the thumbnail and the title, and then you'll all watch. I'm pretty sure this is how you slowly brainwash people to like orchids. Okay, I'm gonna go and remove this. Bye. Unfortunately, I did not properly connect my microphone to the camera, so there is no sound here, even though I am talking quite a lot. So essentially what we're going to do, we're going to put the orchids on this wall. I made these hooks before from metal wire, and that's how I connect these pots to this mesh in the back. This mesh is something I ordered online. I don't love it because it's chrome, but it is used in sports stores, I think for shoes or for something like that. It's pretty heavy and very good if you want to hang something that's heavy on it, but I'm not sure that I love it. It's always been an eyesore for me. Maybe I will change it in the future for something else, but you can see I did struggle a little bit to put these orchids up because they have a lot of flowers. The flowers are staked, and just doesn't really go well with my other orchids. So I think maybe next time that these plants rebloom, when I remove those stakes and the flowers can have a chance to arrange themselves more naturally, I think then it's going to look even better. But in the end, I was relatively happy with the result, or I am relatively happy with the result. Once everything is in bloom, we're going to see the colors of all of my orchids, because I absolutely do not know, and I need to tag them once that happens, and then I will probably move some stuff around. So hopefully now the microphone is plugged in. This is essentially the finished look of the orchid wall. Since I started recording the video, I think 2 of my orchids, or actually 3, have opened their buds. So I'm gonna show that to you. Let's get a little bit closer. One of my orchids that has opened its buds is this one. This is also a no ID that I got as a gift around March 8th. From my friend Nicoletta. I did buy this one. This is a orange swan. So that one has a couple of flowers here, and then it has more flowers here. This is on the old spikes. It's branching out. I left the old spikes, but it also has a new spike coming. And then another one is this red Miley, but we see that some of the buds are falling off. I probably need to water it, so that's why. And then here we have also 2 new branches. It's giving us so many flowers, so I really think that I can't underwater it even a little bit, because we see that some of those buds are falling off. But it is a very pretty orchid. I am pleased how this turned out. I think it does look pretty good. I think, once these new orchids are done blooming and then they have a chance to grow in more naturally with the new spikes on this wall, it's going to look better. It's a little bit awkward to place them on the wall when they already have so many flowers, but yeah, I think it looks okay. This one unfortunately ended up losing a lot of the buds. It's still losing some of them. I do assume this is stress related, but most of them are fine. And a lot of the ones that I have reblooming are also not losing any buds. I actually cannot wait to see what this one is. It has branched out a lot, and it has a lot of buds there. And then this one, I'm so excited. It has 3 branches. I think that one is going to be green. So overall, things are looking pretty good. Things are pretty exciting. Even that epidendrum is blooming. You can see these need to be watered. We really need to do something with these. They're getting underwatered all the time. I do think this would look even better if we had some other orchids here, maybe some cattleyas. And there is perhaps space for them. I'm not really sure. The thing is, I can't really put Phalaenopsis so close to the light. It's going to be too bright for them. So that's why they are in these lower levels. But Yeah, I think eventually it's all gonna look really good. I don't know if we have enough light for this one to continue growing that spike, so some things might need to be moved around a little bit. Generally, the lower portion of the wall is pretty low light. I think it looks good. A little bit chaotic perhaps, but I think, again, with the next blooming, it's going to look less chaotic. And then I think another thing that could contribute to this wall is maybe addition of some ferns. I think that would look nice in those empty spaces. Essentially, my goal is not to see the wall behind. I have thought about removing this net and just drilling the wall, but I don't know, that's gonna be way too many holes. So maybe I shouldn't do that. I don't love this net, I never did. Maybe we can change it for something else, maybe like a rabbit fence. But I'm also not sure if that's gonna look a little bit too wonky, so to say. But I do think it is very nice. It adds a lot of color to the room, and they are going to stay in bloom for a long time. I just wish there was an angle where I could record so you could see the wall when I record the videos, but unfortunately it's a little bit too high and it makes for an awkward recording angle, but you know, you get to see it here and there. I know that not everyone is into the orchids, but I really think that they are unjustly unpopular among some of the plant people. They are not hard. They're quite easy, and there is just such a wide selection of Phalaenopsis orchids. You know, they don't have to be super showy. I typically don't like super showy Phalaenopsis. I love more muted colors. Like this one is probably one of my favorites. I just really love that. And I understand that, you know, some of these are very showy like that one, but overall I do prefer when they are looking a little bit less colorful, let's say. That's probably why I'm not a huge fan of that one, but it still looks nice in the whole composition. Another thing that I will rethink now that everything is going to bloom soon, so we have at least 12 that we are waiting to rebloom. We are then going to see what the colors look like, and I will probably move stuff around as more of them rebloom, and then it will be clearer which needs to go where. Essentially, I don't want the same colors next to one another, so maybe that's going to happen. We'll see when we have more of them in bloom. That is all for today. I will see you very soon with a very important Hoya video. So make sure to stay tuned for that. Happy holidays to everyone. We have again one more video left until the end of the year, hopefully. See you soon, and we gotta deal with the Hoyas. Don't look there. We're not gonna look there. Just here. I would like to take some time to thank all of my patrons for their incredible support. A massive shout out to my $5 patrons. My 2 anonymous patrons, Alex von Siebenthal, Anne Margaret Moyne, Andrea Jarosh, Andrea Hidalgo, Angela Bernard, Angelina Farnan, Anna Malia, Anna P, Aspen Drake, Betsy, Brett Noble, Katie Revert, Catherine Molina, Connie Pagano, Crystal Despain, Daniela Danube Daniels, Daria W, Deanne Sikorsky, Dwight, Edith W, Elena Saxon, Ellen Elora Graham, Farah, Francis Wilkins, Gathering Moss, Gina Geisig, Grositz Kyle, Hannah Matlin, Hoji Scott, Into the Forest, Yana Griffin, Jen C, Jessica Chio, Jody D. Gomez, Jonas Barhjorth Larson, Kara, Catherine P, Casey Gross, Kelso, Kimberly Polka, Christy Ehrlich, Laura Castle, Al Lindberg, Lee Mooney, Luka Zerchevsky, Mandy Milliken, Marcel Har, Mary, Marisa Kova, Marina Yarmolich, Melissa Walker, Michelle Heron, Mirka Grun-Roos, MJW, Moa Edmund, Miss Seidenhar, Anne Neely Yang, Nicole Maronin, Nguyen, Nita Macy, Odette Olapogo, PJ, Syke Zera, Rachel Peterson, Rebecca C, Renee Church, Sharon Bone, Sherry from SC, Starla Van Lith, Suvi Cortecangas, Tessa Martins, Thomas Marston, Tia B, Trista Bailey, Tristan Thomas, Vampire Siren, Van Alien, Virginia, Senia Green, Youth of the Volmud, Zaira Rivera, Zlokov Niponi, and A Flower. Also, a big thank you to my $3 patrons: Botany Benz, Cologne, Daryl Del Rosario, Deanna, Eden Corlett, Gia Rudolph Savarez, Holy Born Connor, Ivy, Joanna KPZ, Lindsay Ann, Maria Isabel, Monica Wykers, Nerdy Cathy, O'Here Plants, Ringlov Tang, Watan Isria Cool, VH, and www.myhoya.shop. And a thank you to my $1 patrons, Alice Borland and C, Brandon Pacheco, Couture Helvetica, Deepanjali Rao, Amelia Bronson, Julie Sullivan, Julie Lafford, Kayla Barbara, Kelly Ash, Kelly Gallagher, Chris Perez, Laura Jackson, Lori Ann Subramaniam, Luzmin Fernandez, Mary Diamond, Mary Rose, Neely Spicer, Nerdy Cathy, Olivia Chen Mueller, Pacific and W Plant Lady, Pax Slydig, and Steph Fox.